Okay, I think we're live. It says I'm live, but who knows anymore. So, my PC has been on the outs all for the past 2 weeks, I'd say. And I just got it back today, so I'm testing it out. So, if you all can hear me, can you go ahead and just let me know how it sounds, if it's scratchy, if, you know, everything okay? So, anyhow, I'm waiting for a couple people to come in here and join me because I want to discuss a few things. So, I'm going to wait just a. Okay, cool. I'm going to wait just a few more minutes. Hopefully, they'll come in here real soon. I sent them a link the old way, so not sure how that link's going to work. Didn't get a link. Okay. Chris, if you want to check your email. That's funny. Lucy's World says, "Sounds good. I somehow got unsubscribed from you." I think you meant to say unsubscribed. That's odd. Unsubbed. Okay, gotcha. I tell you what, I don't know, you all probably can't hear it, but Fort Knox is booming tonight. I'm making a lot of noise. Come on in here. Here, let me go ahead and see. Let me add them again. So, how are you all doing? It has been forever, it seems like, since I've even been live. I'm going to send these individually, and then maybe it'll work that way. Boom, boom. Oh my gosh. It's you think after living here all my life I'd be used to that, but I don't think you could ever get used to hearing bombs going off. So, I've never thought about it when they like start booming, like getting up closer to Fort Knox, how loud it would be then. I should call my sister and see how loud it is at her house. Give me just a minute, guys. You all go ahead and just talk in the chat, and I'm going to try to figure some things out. So if I'm quiet, that's why. Weird. Try to refresh, Rebecca. Hey, Daggers, congratulations. I'm sure you are. Miss you too. What's wrong, Mr. Anderson? Yeah, I'm trying to see what these glitches are. Still no link, Chris? No, Fort Knox, not Fort Carson. DJ. Thanks for dropping by, Daggers. I don't know what the issue is. I'm doing it the way I've always done it. Invitation posted. I'm not posting a link anywhere, and you know why. So I got my PC back today, and they had to replace the motherboard, the keyboard, and the battery. So that will bring me to my next subject that we're getting ready to talk about. Rebecca, did you refresh? Is everything okay? Go back through here. Josie Wells, how are you? You know, I had you modded up, Josie. That's funny. That's funny. There you go. You can have it back. I never took it away. I don't know. I can't text the link, Chris. Let me just confirm this with you, Josie. You were a mod on my channel, right? Or am I wrong? I'm just trying to keep track of some things. Huh. It's funny. So my own mom unsubbed from me. Isn't that nice? Okay. All right. I'll send it to Hangouts. Which she really didn't. I mean, you know, we know that. I'll have to open up Hangouts. I don't even have it open. I've been having issues with Hangouts all week. I've been trying to go live all week. And for some reason, the tablet that I was using would not recognize my other Google accounts, which all have my name on them, but still, is really, really frustrating, to say the least. All right. Let me press. Oh, I gotta press enter on all these. Okay. I hear somebody. I can't see you right now.
Yo.
Yo, what's up, man?
Hey, what's up, Kay? There you go. Now I can get in. You sent it through the Hangout.
Yeah, I was trying to avoid posting the link anywhere, if you get my drift.
No, I got you. I can understand. Yeah, I can't get it. If you sent it through my email, it didn't send for some reason.
Okay.
What's going on, guys? Anderson, Josie, Lucy's World, Rebecca. Who else you want to have on?
Just the usual. I'm trying to post the links now.
Max is asleep. He's headed down my way in a little bit.
Oh, is he? That's good.
Derek Shaw, what's going on, bro?
So, I'm not going to invite a whole lot of people in this stream tonight. I'm going to try to make it short and sweet. I don't want it going on forever because I do have some things I got to do tonight. I got to do a lot of cleaning and some laundry and just get caught up. But you want to kind of elaborate on what happened with my YouTube account, or do you want me to just chime in?
Yeah, go ahead. Give your take on the events. tell everybody what happened, give them a little recap, and I'll elaborate if I can.
Okay, all right. Just making sure I got all these links sent out. Let me get the chat back open real quick. Okay. Okay, so what was it, about 2 weeks ago you got a new phone? And you weren't, I was getting notifications that you were actually making comments on my videos, but I couldn't, when I would go to click on them, I couldn't see them. And I was like, hey, Bernie, you're not showing up, blah, blah, blah. And you were like, huh? And I just thought it was the fact that you had gotten a new phone, maybe the update or whatever, maybe it wasn't synced right. So I went to go.
Yeah, it didn't have anything to do with that, because I could comment on other people's channels fine and it would show up. Now, I mean, I could post a comment, it would show up for a second and then it was gone. And then you told me you couldn't see him. So I put 2 and 2 together and I was like, well, I'm blocked. I don't know how I'm blocked, but I'm blocked from your channel.
And then I started a live stream, and you were a mod on my channel, still are, well, are now again, but I went to my community settings and I was like, there's no way you're freaking blocked. So I go and you're actually removed as a mod on my channel. And then I go to your channel and it says unblock user. So, the fact, and then Mom just stated that she was unsubbed from my channel.
There's a lot of weird things going on with Google. I haven't had that problem anywhere else. I checked my mods. All my mods are fine. I'm not sure if you were hacked or if it was Google. Maybe it was an error. I know you talked to the...
No, sorry.
Well, you talked to the people from YouTube, and what did they say in response to you?
Well, I need to check my email. They've sent me back and forth a few different emails. I'm not going to elaborate on what exactly they said, but it didn't sound very good. Basically, I'm glad that they actually replaced the motherboard on my PC. I've basically changed everything out. I did a full scan when I got my computer back today. And so I'm trying to keep my cool here, because I don't really believe in coincidences. And you know that. You don't. And the thing that certain people, people don't realize how tight we all are. So they can try to create chaos, but it's not going to work.
Well, that's if it really is somebody trying to create chaos. Did you go through your email and try to see if somebody...
I really hate to assume, but it's certain individuals that are being targeted. Okay. So
now, this happened with somebody else, and with regards to you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? You were removed as a mod from somebody else's channel. It wasn't their doing.
Oh yeah. Yeah, this was about a month or two back. I was removed as a mod from Enter the Stars. Actually, all of his mods were removed. And he said that the very next day they all showed back up, surprisingly. But
yeah, very strange. That seems like an error to me.
Yeah, I could understand all the mods and then maybe them showing back up, but somebody banned you from my channel. You have to actually go to a channel and block them, okay? And you were removed as a mod. So that's manual steps, Chris.
Right, but what I'm asking you though is, did you go through your email to find, when somebody logs into your Google account from a different device, they'll give you an email notification saying, "Hey."
That's isn't that if you have the second verification, the 2-step verification, or is that always? No, I've not done that yet.
It should be right away. If I try to access my email from FedEx or something like that.
Notifications on my email turned on. I'll have to look at that, but.
You should. That's something you should look into, because that would be, if somebody did hack you, that would be the definitive proof.
Right. Basically, though, with everything that's been going on and all the steps, that it's looking like it doesn't look good, okay? I'm not one to assume things, okay? I'm not one to assume things. But it's certain individuals that I'm close to that's being targeted. I have how many subs? So think of it like that.
Yeah. There's a lot of weird things going on with Google. A lot of people are being hacked. I know you guys know Skeeto Punk, a good friend of ours. He
Hmm.
sent me a message a few months back, maybe a month or so, and Twitter blocked it. They basically said, this is malicious, and they wouldn't let me look at it. So he was trying to send some kind of a link, and it wasn't him that said it. I verified it with him. So there are accounts that are being hacked. Make sure you have good security. Make sure your network is secure. If you're not using a VPN, you definitely should, especially since that new bill passed where they can just basically sell your information. You don't know who it's going to and what exact data is being transferred, sold, things of that nature.
Right. If you want to go ahead and just talk to the chat and stuff, I'm going to go ahead and look for that email real quick.
All right. Yeah, try to find that. That would definitely be good. You said an attempt was made on your account, Mr. Anderson?
Okay, so if anybody tries to text me or anything on my phone is completely dead. It just powered off. And I have it plugged in. Something's taking away all my juice. Okay, so I'm just going to pull up my email on the PC here. And that email should actually be from Google, correct? Just in case others want to check to see. Chris?
Yeah, it should be from Google. It'll say somebody tried to access your account or was successful in accessing your account from another device.
Okay.
Maybe it was somebody with skills, and maybe it wasn't. Maybe it was just an error. That's what we're all trying to find out. And we're trying to find out if anybody in our circle has any kind of a similar circumstance.
I don't hear you talking anymore. Your audio is gone. Okay.
Hear me now?
Yeah, I got you. Your audio just cut out. You were saying similar circumstance.
Yeah, if anybody has any similar circumstances with their accounts, they should try to tell everybody and give them the heads up. And also make sure you can prove it. Because we don't want everybody saying, I'm getting hacked, I'm getting hacked, I'm getting hacked, and there's no proof of any hacking going on. But you want to be able to document, say, hey, there's some weird things going on with my Google account, my Twitter account, and then we can try to figure out if a certain circle is being, targeted, certain individuals maybe.
Okay, so the YouTube actually sent me an email. I didn't have my PC. I don't get my notifications on my phone. I just get them on my PC. Well, I just turned them on. And they sent me an email. I had to answer some questions. So I got to respond to that for them to, for that part of it, for the investigation. But let's see. Yeah, I've enabled two-step. I've had it enabled for a while. I can't remember when I didn't have it. So it's a lot of emails.
Do you want to share any of them? The email?
No, not at the moment. I'll probably do a video with screenshots. I'm not gonna.
I got you. Yeah, I can understand that. Well, you talked to the Geek Squad. Did the Geek Squad say anything alluding to your motherboard being damaged or anything like
No,
that? Any good
I
hardware
didn't even
components?
know the motherboard was damaged. They just replaced it. They sent me an email stating everything that they did.
Okay.
They didn't
Yeah,
say.
because a lot of times when you get malware, it can affect your hardware. If somebody's trying to damage your computer, they can do that through the software, through exploits.
It's good to know.
They can do a lot of wacky things with your fan and all sorts of stuff. Yeah, I've seen it before.
I've got so many emails. This is gonna take me all night. I'm just wanting to chat and live stream and do this. I'll check into that later. As far as I just find it kind of odd that there's supposed to be controversy as far as Hangouts being a portal directly into your PC. Now, I've looked it up on Google. I can't find anything alluding to that. I'm sure it can be done. You know, there's certain people with skills out there.
Well,
So
if somebody wanted to get into your Hangouts and you have it installed through your browser, you have the plugin, they would have to have a way into your system. They'd have to have an entry point, and then they would have to manipulate the code and create an exploit for Hangouts so they could get in that way. It's not impossible, that's for sure.
hmm yeah, I mean, as far as assuming, I don't like to assume anything, but it's just the circumstances behind everything that's going on when they hit people that are directly close to you that you communicate with, and I communicate with quite a bit of people, but it's the ones that I'm pretty close to that, whoever, whatever. I don't think it's a glitch. Sorry.
Yeah, I wasn't freaking out. I wasn't like, "What's wrong with you? You blocked me," because I knew you wouldn't do that. So it's
Yeah.
like, hey, I'm blocked, and I figured your response would be kind of interesting, so I just wanted to
Right,
see
because you,
what it would be.
right?
Yeah,
You're
you're
not.
like, "You're not blocked," and I said, "Yes, I am blocked. You should go check." Sure enough.
And, as far as that goes, if I did ever block somebody, mistakes do happen, but I would not block you. But you know me well enough to know that I wouldn't do that. And most people that are sub to me know me better. So um, it's just, it's crazy, man. It makes you not even want to, be on any social media whatsoever.
Nah, don't get dismayed. That's I'm trying to keep your spirits high. Don't be dismayed by that. Just keep pushing forward no matter what. Maybe you should migrate to different social media platforms. Myself, I don't use Facebook. Because we're starting up the Center Media. It's a project that we have coming up. The website's going to be coming soon. It's going to be for anybody who writes articles or goes out and records things of a journalistic nature of any type. And we're going to try to publish that soon in the coming months.
Yeah, it's actually looking really, really good at the moment, and you're not even done with it. So I know me and you've made a few test posts, and it looks really good. I'm very proud of you. You're doing
It
awesome.
looks good. Well, it's a community effort, and you and Rebecca were pretty instrumental to that. Everybody else who's getting involved in it.
Yeah.
But
I
yeah,
tell you
don't be
what.
dismayed. Start your own thing. The center's not going to have a Facebook. I don't want to contribute to Facebook and their censorship, their fascism. Um, I
Now the
reached out to the
website.
guys from All for Truth instead, and I didn't hear too much from them. I got one video call, and I didn't hear back from them. So I guess we'll see how that turns out.
Oh, okay. You still haven't heard anything back from him.
No, I gave him a number too, but
Okay. Well, I mean,
every
as far as that goes, in regards to the website, you're doing fine by yourself as far as collaborating it and setting up the widgets and stuff. I mean, it looks good.
yeah, because I was going to have him set up the website in the first place, and I'm glad I did set it up by myself. It's a lot easier for me.
Well,
I'm not too good with designing websites. I've done a few in the past, but not on this capacity.
well, not only that is you have a vision of what you want it to look like, and it's actually looking like what you pictured it. So if somebody else actually tuned in and was creating it, it might not be what you want. Not that you couldn't go in and tune it out, but or tune it up, but you know I think you're doing an amazing job. Rebecca, she's an amazing person. Rebecca Rage, you all need to, if you're not sub to her, go to her channel and sub. Also, Bernie Trump Perspective, go ahead and sub to him. We might actually be, I'm going to still be posting to YouTube, but we're all going to be on the website posting and writing and probably sharing if we post anything on our channels here, probably linking that to that as well, right? I thought you said
Yep,
Max was asleep.
he was supposed to be.
You're supposed to be sleeping, Max.
Maybe he just woke up. Maybe it was a power nap.
Power nap. Well, I
He's
sent
still
him a link
groggy.
for Hangouts. Yeah, still groggy. Okay, well, you can jump in here if you want. I will no longer be posting the Hangouts link in the chat ever. Don't ever ask me to do it.
Do
And
it.
if I don't ask to join, if I want you to join, I will send you a link. I have my reasons. So I'm not being mean. I'm just putting it out there. So, hey Felicia. Okay, that's so funny.
You still coming over later, Max?
Can you get a link? It's in Hangouts, dude. I sent you a link in Hangouts. Can I get a link? Oh, he's just messing with me. Sorry. See, I'm tired. I'm sorry. Forgive me.
You're good.
My sense of humor is kind of going down the drain.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, I know that now, Max. I'm joking, Kay. I can hear him now. That's another cool person, you know. I actually got to meet this person in the flesh, same as you. And both of you are just awesome people.
Yeah, Max, one of my best buds right there. That's my man. Let me turn off my notifications.
No more crickets.
No more crickets. Well, that's good. It's always good news. Plus, I can, you know, talk to the chat while I'm talking to you. I'm on my phone.
Ah, yeah. Moving up in the world, man.
I don't
as
know
far
about all that.
as far as your laptop though, did you ever get that fixed?
The laptop's all right. It's the mic isn't working, and that's just something I have to work on. I'm not sure if it's the hardware or a software issue. But I've made a few videos without the microphone. Everything worked out good.
Well, that works. That works. Oh, man, there was something I was going to talk about, and it just completely left. Okay, so I'm going to go grab a refill on my coffee. I didn't name this late night coffee because it's not a typical late night coffee. Because I'm not really in that kind of mood, if you get my drift. So I'm going to go get some more coffee, and then I'll be back. Entertain the chat for me. See if you can get Max to jump in here, and I'll be right back.
That is what I'm doing right now. I'm going to get you in the chat, Max. I'm going to bring you into this hangout. We're going to have fun. Lots of fun. Okay. I don't know if he... All right, Max is heading out. He's headed towards my way. So maybe he'll come in. Maybe not. Hey, Lisa, what's going on, guys? Alicia. Dance. I'm not an entertainer. It's not what I do. Moving on up. You want a link or not, Max? I'll hit you up. Let me see if I can do that for you right now. Apologies, guys. I know I'm very boring. Not much of an entertainer. I'm just trying to keep this going for Kay. And it doesn't look like my Google Hangouts is working too well. All right, Max, sent you the link. Text message.
Hey,
There he is. What's up, man?
what's up, buddy?
How you doing? Get some
No,
rest.
yeah, a little bit. I can't stand a trip that should take me 45 minutes takes me 2 hours. Is ridiculous, you know. There's
Yeah,
I mean, then it was starting to get rainy. There was accidents, and there's just like I
yeah. It's
just
not
was.
raining anymore over here. It's a little gloomy though. It's not the best weather. It doesn't look like we're having much of a spring.
Yeah, really. I guess we're supposed to get this rain in April, so we have May flowers, but now we're getting it in May. So.
Yeah, Guitar and I are over here on the East Coast, or in Baltimore County. Well, Max is closer to DC, but still, we get the crazy bipolar weather of the United States.
There was some SUV that rode by me today over in Laurel, and I was looking. He had all these little contraptions on the top of it, and I don't even know all the terminology for them, but like little spinning things and little sensors, and I didn't know what he was. And then he had something on his like labeling on it that says weather storm chaser. And I was hoping to catch up to him at a light and ask him did he believe in HARP and chemtrails and stuff, but I couldn't catch up with him. But I would have been curious to see what he was saying, because he must have had some type of a gig where he was actually going out there to try to document what was going on with that storm that was brewing. So
Yeah, there are a lot of real storm chasers out there that go and chase and get as close as they possibly can to those storms. It's very dangerous.
I mean,
I
in our
used to
area,
want
I
to
guess
be
there's
one of
not.
those when I was a kid. It fascinated me.
Yeah,
What's going on, me, Vengeance?
Mia.
I
Hi,
guess there's
Max.
special. Hey, Kim, what's up?
Max. I thought you were sleeping.
I was. I'm up now.
He
I'm
was
just.
lamenting on the
I was.
sorrows of the day.
Yeah, I was.
Hmm. Yeah, I heard you talking about some April showers,
Right.
spring Mayflowers.
Right.
And it's actually May. I think this is the same thing that happened last year, right? We had the showers in May instead of April, which ruined everybody's gardens. So,
Yeah, I had to bring some plants in a couple of nights because it was actually getting below 50, like lower 40s and stuff, and that's still kill a couple of things, tomatoes and cucumbers and all that. So
mhm. Well, I'm starting my garden late this year because we've had so much rain. And I haven't even started it yet. Probably start tilling next weekend.
I finally tilled last week, but I don't have anything in the ground. I just have I got stuff in containers and doing the dance back and forth in and out of the greenhouse and trying to keep things living, trying to keep the deer from eating them, trying to keep them from getting frost.
You want to hear something weird? So we bought a new apple tree for the backyard because the one that we planted last year died already. Well, it died last year. But anyways, we replaced it. I'm echoing for some reason. But anyways, and this is a pretty decent sized apple tree. We paid a little bit more for it because, the yearlings that we've been getting have been dying. So we went ahead and paid a little bit more for this one. It's a little bit taller. And it's like somebody just went up to it and snapped the top out of it. Like it's like a 6 foot tall tree.
You think a deer got that tall?
I don't know.
Because I've seen them get up on their hind legs and get up in the branches and stuff.
Well, this is not, it's not that strong. I don't know. I wouldn't say no. I wouldn't, I just wouldn't think so. But who knows? Who knows? The whole back of my yard is nothing but woods. So, I see deer all the time. It's very well possible. But why the top of the tree? Is that where all the nutrients are? The very top? Is that where most of the nutrients are? Why the top? Mosquito. I
I
see.
think I think they I don't know what's the rhyme or reason for what they do. I mean, sometimes they come in, they just eat grass, other times they're eating stuff off of trees, and
I think.
Hey, what's up, guys? I had my
what's the
microphone
rhyme or reason
muted.
for what they do? I mean, sometimes they come in, they just eat grass. Other times they're eating stuff off of trees and.
Hey, what's up, guys? I had my
what's the rhyme or reason for what they do? I mean, sometimes they come in, they just eat grass. Other times they're eating.
Okay, I muted you, so you'll have to unmute yourself. Oh goodness.
Yeah, Jacob, before you get back in, turn off the sound for your YouTube. Make sure you just get the chat up.
Yeah, it was echoing because he had his YouTube page up, not muted. So he's like, "I'm gonna sign out."
That's what the echo is most of the time.
Yeah. I close out of YouTube completely and just have the pop-out chat going anymore. I'll just have this up and then the pop-out chat, and that's all I have open. You get a better stream that way and everything.
I hear crickets now.
Yeah, those are
sure.
weird.
Jacob.
Are we better?
Yeah, much better.
All right. Yeah, I just went out of everything, came back in.
Much better, man. What's up? I haven't talked to you in a while, dude.
I know, man. Missed you, bro.
Missed you too.
We haven't done one of these in a while. That's good.
It's been a while.
Yeah, it's been a while. How are things?
Things are good. They're looking up, man. How about you?
Oh man, I was I posted on RFE's thing the other day about the chemtrail plane I saw, and I'm totally kicking myself over that for not getting the footage, because I had my hands full.
Yeah, you can't blame yourself for that.
Well, by the time I looked up, it only took 2 or 3 seconds. I knew exactly what it was, but by then it was too late. It was directly overhead, and those things are moving at like 400 or 500 knots, so I would have had to I would have had to drop my bags and like pull out my phone, turn on my camera, get the video set right to record, and by then the plane would have been gone, so.
Now you know the trouble I have when I'm as paranoid as I am, and I put black tape on my camera on my phone. If I want to record anything, I got to do a big procession, take the tape off before I can record.
Yeah, this was a golden opportunity, though. I mean, like, I don't know anybody that's actually got footage of a chemtrail plane. Do you?
So, do you guys think that they have pilots in them, or do you think that they're just like artificially driven, or what? Not artificially driven, but like some type of an AI system.
Yeah, I think that planes are being piloted by someone.
Really?
Yeah.
So I know Truth Virus, he brought up that he thought that it was some type of a, for lack of a better term, robotic type of a thing, or an AI or something, because he says he didn't think that many pilots would keep quiet, but who knows?
Well, from what I could see, it looked like it was human piloted, but who knows? I mean,
how can you tell that?
Just looking at it. I mean, I know it wasn't a hologram; it was a real plane.
Oh no, I didn't mean that. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's.
No, we're talking about a self-flying plane as opposed to a human-piloted plane.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, I know that the military is doing that with F-16s and stuff, but I mean, they could be doing it with chemtrail planes. I don't know, but
hey, maybe. I know. Kay reached out to her local meteorologist, which is what a lot of people should be doing. Reaching out to their local meteorologist, asking them what their takes on these things are. But if you go into it saying chemtrail, they're pretty much going to automatically brand you as a tinfoil hat person. The correct term, the accepted term, is a contrail-induced cirrus cloud.
Say that again?
They're contrail-induced cirrus clouds.
Yeah.
So that's how you grab their ear. If you go into chemtrails right off the bat, they're going to be like, "Well."
That's a good point. Thanks for reminding us of that, because I would have probably when you say that, it makes complete sense. But then I probably wouldn't have had the forethought to go in there with that other phrase. So that's good to know.
I've never heard that one before.
Well, they're making up names for it, like it's always been around, or you know.
So that's the PC term for it.
Pretty much, yeah. And I learned a lot about chemtrails from Jim Lee, who heads up the Climate Viewer.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that guy.
Yeah, I've been reading a lot of his articles and studying his research, and he does very good work. He also says that it's fear porn, how people are saying that they are putting chemicals that are toxic to us intentionally in these contrails, chemtrails, whatever you want to call them.
That makes sense that would be the case, because I mean, like that would be a good way to explain out of, you know, a lot of times people say, well, if it's so poisonous, why are they spraying it on themselves and their own families and all that? Well, they can maneuver where they live, and they can get away from these storms, and they know the timing of the storms and everything. So if it's primarily about weather modification, then that would make sense, you know.
Here's the
Well,
thing.
you can do tests after the planes fly by, and a lot of people have picked up a lot of toxic chemicals after the planes have flown by in different states, and there's a lot of research for that.
Yeah, but how much is that tested?
Yeah, a lot of that's inconclusive, because those could have came from anywhere. That air could have become contaminated from a number of different things.
You know,
I mean, who knows what something like Fukushima even does to our air, you know? I mean, I know we're not anywhere near it, but I mean, it's you know, there's so much going on, you know.
Speaking of contacting that meteorologist, one of the final emails, well, the thing is, he kept emailing me back, which, you know, he didn't just shut me off completely at first, okay? And that's going to be a whole nother video. But I think one of the last emails that he sent me was, well, I guess we'll just have to agree to disagree, you know. But I told him I was actually going to find a very, I guess, a detailed video of meteorologists actually coming out and explaining, you know, coming out of the closet basically and explaining that, yeah, this is what this is. Because there are some that have basically woke up and have, you know, we all know this, but he obviously does not want to hear the truth, or he's paid to not hear the truth. Who knows? But it was pretty humorous in the way that he was responding to me. I think I forwarded you at all but like the last one or two. I haven't even checked to see if he's responded back to my last email. So very interesting, to say the least.
I mean, at least now, now that I actually, you know, visual sight of a plane, we know that they're landing at Moffett Field. So, you know, maybe people can start doing research on that.
I think everybody should be documenting the different things going on in your airspace, like just looking for truth. He posts videos all the time. He's in Pennsylvania. Not too far from me, but he has different military bases around him than I have here.
You need to,
and that's something that I'm going to start doing, is, you know, recording and documenting the airspace through video and little short updates and things like that. And I think a lot of people should be doing that. It's very important. And
I'm really bad about that, because we have all kinds of traffic, and most of it's, you know, just regular military air traffic, you know.
I see it every morning. Every morning when, you know, around between 6:30. I know in the wintertime it was right at sunrise. No telling when that they actually started. But I think that sun has something to do with, you know, once they spray it, it actually, what's the word I need? It basically starts it up. You know, something to do with the sun. Because, you know, they're not spraying at night.
The crystals reflect off the sun's rays.
Right. But you would think, you know, if it doesn't have something to do with the sun, let's just say that, you know, why wouldn't they just do it at night when we can't see it? That if they wanted to hide it. And basically, it's been going on so long now that they don't even care. You know, when it first started, we would see, you know, one here, one there every once in a while. And now it's total freaking chaos in the clouds. You know,
you do see a lot at night now, actually, a lot more than usual. But I think, like you said, I could come to the conclusion that it does have definitively something to do with the sun based on how often they're spraying during the daytime as opposed to nighttime.
Right.
It's got to do. It has to do something with the lunar cycle or something. I mean, right? I mean, why would they spray across the country at the same time? Because the spraying out here in California was on Wednesday and Thursday. It was really bad, and that's when I saw the plane. Right.
Well, that's one thing I need to do is start documenting what days and what time I actually see it. I mean, it seems to me like it's an everyday occurrence, but I could be wrong. You know,
It is here. They do it over the schools a lot. I noticed because I live right next door to a school. The school's basically my backyard, except for during the summertime where you can't get through the brush. But basically, the high school is my backyard. So, if I walk to exit my property into the woods, I'm in a gun-free zone pretty much. So they do it all the time over these schools, and that's where they seem to be primarily interested. And I haven't really figured out as to why yet. But
So then
I had from Bartley yesterday said that they were spraying. I think he documented that too. It might have been yesterday or the day before. They were spraying in Oregon. It was like a crisscross pattern right over the moon. And so it may have something to do with the lunar energy, like you said. I don't know, but these were fresh chemtrails that he picked up.
I'd like to be able to document it because I've been out in the yard, like working in the yard, like nearly the whole day, and I've seen them. They start out, and then of course they get wider and wider, and I'd like to start to keep a little log and take some short videos at least, or some pictures, and just show the progression between, okay, this was 12 noon, this is now 5 p.m. or whatever,
Yeah, because what they do is they expand. A normal contrail, it just dissipates, whereas what we call a chemtrail will expand over time and it gets bigger, and eventually you have enough of them when they do that crisscross pattern, it just blots out the whole sky.
So why don't all four of us, like every day at a certain time of the day, I know we're on different time zones. Well, Skeeto, you're on a different time zone. We're all on Eastern. But
Skeeto's definitely on a different time zone.
all together, all around. But let's just start documenting, looking out, going out at the same time each day, if we have to do it every hour, so be it, and just start looking and documenting and recording and see if we can come up with a pattern. And there is a local airport really close to me.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea, Kay. I mean, just to, even, just pen and paper, just write down like what you're seeing, what time, what day, and go from there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think the fact that the three of us are on Eastern time would actually really benefit the documentation, because I'm sure the time zones, I'm sure they all work and collaborate together on that.
Yeah, I mean, it's late for you guys. I mean, I'm California time, so.
Yeah, it's early in California, and it's 9:25.
Yeah,
Mac, it's gonna be like 12 o'clock before you even get here, man.
Oh my gosh, Casey!
No, I was trying to get myself together. You still want me to come up? I mean, I can. I mean,
Yeah, go ahead, man. Go ahead.
All right. I want to go ahead and mute for a little bit while I still got you though, so don't talk about me too much.
Okay, that won't happen.
Yeah. Oh, we're gonna talk
lots of smack about Max.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about Max.
Oh, listen to this though. I talked to Casey earlier, right? And he's in France now. Had no idea. Like 8 o'clock Eastern time is 3 a.m. his time. So he's like, Underground World News is 3 a.m. his time. I was like, oh man, that sucks. I'm sure he wasn't even thinking about that. So
yeah, 6 hours difference from the East Coast, because I was stationed in Germany, so it's 9 hours. Right? 9 minus 3, 6.
Yeah.
Yeah, 6 hours. So.
Those are what we call the real G hours. 3 a.m.
Yeah, but y'all don't understand. California time, he was going to bed at 6, 7 o'clock p.m. So I'm sure he's just all messed up.
Yeah, I mean, it takes a little while to get used to it. So when I was overseas, I used to call my family, at night, and for them it's morning, right? So,
Right.
you call your family at 7 o'clock at night, it's 10 o'clock in the morning for them. So I tried to do that, just hit them up in the evening while they have a fresh start on the day.
I have no idea why my phone is not charging. It's at 13% now. We've been online how long now? Been a
Not
little
sure. It
bit.
doesn't say for me.
Right here.
I'm about to hop off here soon though, because
Yeah, I'm gonna shut it down here in a little bit, anyways. I mean, I've got things I've got to do. It's been a while since I've even went live, and been trying to do it for the past couple days, and just it hasn't worked out. So, and it's been forever since we've even been all four of us together. And then James, I don't know where he is. He probably didn't get the link either. So
he's probably making a video of some sort at the moment.
Yeah, I'm
That's
sure.
usually what he's doing. Every time we're talking to him, he's like, "Hold on, guys, I'm making a video." You hear him in the background recording.
He's a hard charger.
Yeah. Oh,
but yeah, I get since I've been live, Kart Racer has made it known that he has the big C, so we all need to make sure we have prayers for him. Much love, much love, Mike.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Oh boy, I didn't know that. I like Mike.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. But
yeah.
the type that he has is pretty curable. Of course, I'm sure he wants to go the natural route. So if anybody knows of any natural routes, I've already sent him a couple that I know of. But
Yeah, I sent him the Gerson treatment over with the website as well as the documentary on that, because not a lot of people know about that. If you know anybody who has a degenerative illness, you should definitely introduce them to what's called the Gerson treatment. There's a documentary on about it called the Gerson Miracle, and it's all about giving your bodies the tools it needs to repair itself from these degenerative illnesses.
What's
I hadn't
the
heard about that until you told me about that, Chris. And that, I mean, I had heard about part of the, I mean, like in isolation, but I hadn't heard of it as that program before, So
Yeah, it mainly consists of juicing certain types of fruits and vegetables, superfoods, along with coffee enemas, and just basic nutrition is what it comes down to, in giving your body the tools it needs to fight off diseases.
Did you say coffee enema?
Yeah, coffee enemas, correct. Because, okay, say if you were to do what we call the lemon cleanse, right? How it decalcifies your pineal gland.
Mm-hmm.
It mainly consists of some cayenne pepper, lemon juice, 100% pure natural maple syrup, and a few other things. But mostly those three ingredients. You do that, decalcifies your pineal gland, takes all the toxins out of your brain for the most part, but then it has to pass through your digestive system. So in order to make sure it doesn't get caught in your digestive tract, you want to give yourself an enema, and it completely flushes it out of your body, because you don't want all those toxins going into your digestive tract.
So what's the, I don't know. I mean, like, what's the difference between just fasting? Because you would think that if you fast long enough that it would get out of your bowels and all that, intestines.
Well, this is a much more intense way of doing it, because you're filling your body with good nutrients, all the nutrients and minerals that it needs, while you're flushing out the bad. So there's nothing but good nutrients going in through your body, and it takes out all the toxic chemicals, giving your body the tools it needs.
I got you.
Yeah, surprisingly, not a lot of people in the community know about that, and I think I should try to share that and maybe mirror it on my channel or something.
Yeah, Chris, you should make a video or like covering this, because this is, I've never heard about this. So
I had heard of the coffee enema before, but I always kind of just laughed it off because it's just so wild sounding. But I'm definitely not foo-fawing it by any means. It was one of those things that I'd heard about over the years, but I didn't make the connection with this other program.
Yeah, well, I'll do what I can, and I think it's also very important that people check out that lemon cleanse if they're interested in detoxifying their pineal glands. It works very well. It's very effective. Few key Illuminati members have done it famously, Beyonce, and it does work. It is effective. So I'd encourage people to look into that on themselves and come to their own conclusions as to whether or not that's good for them.
Yep.
I mean,
Something
I've heard
else.
some.
Go ahead.
No, good.
Okay, so a few months back, I was actually talking, I don't know if y'all remember or not, but I was talking about the vitamin B17, how it's actually banned in the US. And we were actually trying to find alternatives that actually had B17 in it. There's apricot seeds, um, which another form of apricot seeds, it's basically pure B17, but you can actually get on Amazon. It's called guaviola extract that actually has B17 in it. It's a liquid form extract. So
I
that's
take that,
supposed to
Kay.
be able, it's supposed to be able to kill cancer 10,000 times better and faster than chemo. So, yeah, Skeeto just popped out, but he said he takes it. A friend of mine that was my age, she's since passed, but she had breast cancer, and I bought her a bottle of it. And I had lunch with her 2 weeks before she died. She didn't look sick, and from what I gathered, she was taking it, and I guess she had since ran out or whatever. But it's like almost like she just went from feeling good to boom, she just passed away. I don't know all the circumstances and all the details, but from what I heard, she had ran out, and I had sent her links and stuff. Of course, she was having money issues, but I would have been more than happy to keep her in stock with it. But it would have just been nice to know, was it helping or not, That Skeeto, you said you take that daily? You're muted.
Yeah, he's muted. We got Joanna in the chat. She's talking about vitamin B17. That's something I've heard a little bit about. From what I hear, it's illegal in the U.S. unless I'm wrong. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it's illegal. They've banned it, but there's other ways of getting it, like the guaviola extract.
There are many ways of acquiring something. You can extract it yourself. You don't necessarily have to buy it. If you have the correct skills required, you can extract almost anything.
Yeah, Joanne said she used it and it worked. That's awesome. Congrats, Joanne.
It's amazing.
She said she had breast cancer. I didn't know that, Joanne. That's amazing. So
Rebecca's doing an awesome job talking to people in the chat. Thanks, Rebecca. She's amazing. If you guys don't know her, follow her at Rebecca Rage 333 on Twitter. She has a YouTube channel also. She does some really good vlogs. She's very well spoken. She's got a fire in herself. She's passionate about it. She doesn't care who disagrees with her, and that's what we need more of. We got too many cowards who are, they just want to go with the wagon, and tired of everybody trying to be politically correct. We had somebody in the chat earlier who was basically saying Trump was Israel's bitch, and I think somebody here in the chat said they're being rude. And no, if you're voicing your opinion, that it's not being rude. It wasn't being rude to anybody. That's how political correctness is formed. When you tell somebody they're being rude for voicing out their opinion, if you would disagree with that. That's why you have intelligent debates.
right, everybody should be able to speak freely, even if you're disliked. You know what I'm saying?
Agreed.
That whole term political incorrectness has just basically been designed to put somebody back in their corner. And I'm not saying everybody that says it means that, but I mean, as a rule, we don't even realize sometimes we're regurgitating these terms and we don't even realize why they were put into the end with,
I agree, man.
Yeah, I mean, you have to understand that this whole movement is it's cornering people, right? So it's shutting down the voice, right? So you look at, that's why I didn't vote in the last election, right? Because I understood that both sides of the fence were being played. And I understood that. I understood that Trump was a puppet, right? So I understood what they were doing, and most of the people in the community, they don't understand that it's a divide and conquer strategy, right? So you have to play both sides against each other, and you keep them fighting so you can do your shenanigans in the background.
Mm-hmm.
That's exactly what goes on. They create this left-right paradigm, and that's why they were trying to awaken certain people to certain truths. You have your gatekeepers like Alex Jones, and that was his entire purpose, was to bring in the Trump cult, or what we know as the alt-right now, and they're fighting against the left, and everybody's arguing over party politics when they're failing to realize that both sides are controlled.
Yeah, exactly, dude. Exactly. It should be so obvious to people now, but it's not. You know.
You want to hear something funny? I just ran across.
Go ahead, man.
I was just saying something funny. Not funny. It's just interesting that I just run across.
Like, you know, you think it's funny.
No. I'm trying to pull it up on my phone. I was out in the rain, so that's why it's some guy named Jack Bernstein. I don't know if y'all ever heard of him. I had not heard of him, but he wrote a book, The Life of an American Jew and Racist Marxist Israel. Actually they're saying that he got assassinated for his, coming out with this information. But he says in his book, I'm well aware of the tactics of you, my Zionist brethren. Quiet anyone who attempts to expose any of your subversive acts. If the person is a Gentile, you cry you're anti-Semite, which is nothing more than a smokescreen to hide your actions. But in doing the exposing, you resort to other tactics. First, you ignore the charges, hoping the information will not be given widespread distribution. If the information starts reaching too many people, you ridicule the information and the persons giving the information. Next step is character assassination. If the author or speaker hasn't been involved in sufficient scandal, you are adept at fabricating scandal against the person or persons. If none of these are effective, you are known to resort to physical attacks, but never do you try to prove the information wrong. I just thought that was, of course he's talking about a particular agenda there, but at the same time, I think that principles apply to so many times when people are trying to shut out the opposition's viewpoint,
Yeah, it's kind of narcissistic, isn't it? Kind of like that book of law you were reading to me, Chris. It's kind of like what that sounds like. Crickets. Chris.
Chris.
Criskets.
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 Chrissy. Hey.
The Bernie Trump.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. He wants to be called the Bernie Trump perspective. He's losing his familiarity with that term. We got to remind him.
Your name's Chris, man.
Christy.
Christina.
That's kind of funny.
Can't call him Xtina.
Chris, come back. Yeah, I think he's doing a coffee enema. Come on, man.
He's doing the coffee enema.
He didn't want anybody knowing he does those. You all didn't hear him say, "Yeah, I do them."
That's true.
Well,
He didn't want that out of the bag.
Well, hey, check it out. So when I was going through my first round of surgeries in the Army, right, they threatened to give me enemas and stuff because I couldn't go to the bathroom because I was on morphine and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So my uncle was there, and he was telling me the nurse was coming with the hose.
Oh.
the power washer.
The power washer to stick up my bum. I was scared. I was like, nobody's going to do that to me.
Did you really think they were going to do it?
Yeah, he was serious. He was dead serious.
Way.
Yeah, he was like, she's coming. She's walking down the hall right now.
Oh, wow. You know what that makes me think of is when I turned diabetic, right? And I was not in my right mind at all. Here I am, 11 years old with sugar like
Wow.
over
I
1,000,
didn't know you
right?
had it since that young. Wow.
Yeah. So they were like wanting to take my temperature. And for some reason, I would not let them take it in my mouth. And they were like, if you don't let us stick it in your mouth, we are going to put it in your butt. And I looked at them, gave them some kind of stern look, and bent over right there in front of them
Wow.
and let them take it at my butt.
The lesser of two evils, huh?
Oh my gosh.
What if
And
somebody just joined in the chat just now? That was the first thing that they heard.
I'm talking about a thermometer. Rewind the chat here.
Bringing some context to the conversation.
But seriously, though, I mean, that just goes to show how much you're not in your right mind when your sugar levels, go up or down. And of
Do you
course,
think that's
that
what was happening?
Huh?
Is that what was actually happening then? You just kind of were confused or something?
Well, it was out of normal range, obviously. I mean, that's when I was turning diabetic. So
Wow.
the level, if you're familiar with it, I mean, it was 1,020. So I was like on death's door. So yeah, I was talking, thinking out of my mind. I mean, I couldn't even see. I was freezing. I mean, and sad thing is a lot of people don't know the symptoms. My best friend Brooke in West Virginia, she just messaged me, and her husband's in the hospital right now. Just for the past 2 days, suddenly he started getting really thirsty, using the bathroom a lot. She finally talked him into going to the doctor today, and his sugar was so high that they couldn't even read it. Of course, once it gets above 600, yeah, the meters won't read it, the meters that we have at home. So the hospital, he sent him straight to the hospital, the doctor did. And I don't have an update on him, but yeah, it looks like he's going to be on some insulin for a little while. But the good thing, and there is some good to this, because what it's called a honeymoon phase, which at the time when I turned diabetic, I didn't know anything about it, but supposedly they can use like islet cells and reverse it if you're still in the honeymoon phase, because after being on insulin so long, it actually causes the pancreas to not produce any more of its own insulin at all. So So it's really good to know. And I was emailing a doctor. I was actually going to go through a trial phase of receiving the islet cells. I don't qualify as a candidate because I've had it so long. So anyway.
So how does that work? I mean, like, I just don't know a whole lot about that. So I mean, like, how do you end up with it so young? Because of just genetics, or I mean,
it's genetics, it's hereditary, and what's really weird is 6 weeks later, my biological sperm donor received the same disease. So yeah.
Well, I guess there's something to that, huh?
Most definitely. So
I mean, I've heard talking about that, and I got to still get my head around what it's called, but that Chris was talking about earlier. But I mean, that it's, I've heard many good things. People are going to eat what they want to eat, but at the same time, I've heard doctors who are really cleaning up your diet, whether that be reducing meat intake, increasing plant-based foods, or whatever, reducing sugar and booze and all that type of stuff. But I mean, it's just the body's ability to heal itself is pretty incredible. And then, especially I've heard of some people having some really good things happen to them from fasts. And of course you got to take that, with a caution. You can't just go ahead and throw caution to the wind on the fast, for sure. But, it's incredible between diet, your body, like getting out of the way of your body and letting it do its thing,
Yeah, and people with type 2, that's all fine and dandy. They can actually reverse it. But there's 2 different types. I'm type 1. My pancreas doesn't produce any insulin. So I'm actually, since I've had it so long, my pancreas can't rejuvenate any cells, because the insulin, the pig insulin that I've been receiving all these years, since I was 11. So, I mean, it's pretty much done for now. But the thing is, it's the long-term complications. I have hypothyroid now. I have joint and bone issues. Joint and bone issues. I don't have any kidney or liver disease. That's really good. Because usually, there's been diabetics that have had diabetes since they were 2 and die at 33. So I'm at pretty good health, for the most part, but I do have long-term complications, so that's why I usually don't feel very well. So,
and don't get me wrong, when I was talking about the fasting and diet, I wasn't saying that it would apply to everything like your situation, but just
I really wish it could. I wish I could fast. I would love to be able to fast. But I have to. I have insulin constantly being put in my body 24/7. So if I didn't eat anything at all, it wouldn't be good. I'd probably be in a coma, but I would love to be able to fast and, just see what that would feel like, it's not going to happen. So, but I recommend anybody that is able to do it out there to fast and clear your mind and get closer to God. And, that's what it's all about. So,
especially in these times we're living in, I might need to jump out and jump back in. I hear myself echoing.
You're not echoing here, but yeah, go ahead.
All right.
Speedo.
He's muted though.
Yeah, I'm trying to get him to unmute. You were talking about taking that guaviola extract. I think you had jumped out and now you're back in. But if you can unmute yourself, that would be great. He might be away from his PC, but I haven't actually taken that. I've still got this black seed oil that I need to take, and I'm just scared that I'll have too many low blood sugars with it. So,
hey, what would you be taking that for?
For the diabetes, to help do something with it. Yeah. What'd you say, Skeeto?
Are you talking to me about the graviola?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry, I was out of the room, downstairs. Yeah, I've been taking it for, I don't know, probably like 4 months.
Is there a certain reason why you started taking it? Or where'd you hear about it?
Just doing research online from other people, and I just figured it's probably a good supplement to add, considering chemtrails and all the stuff in our food and water.
Yeah. Most definitely.
Right? So it's just something extra to add to daily.
Now, let me ask you this: do you feel a difference in your body since you started taking it?
It's hard to tell. I don't. The only reason I started taking it is to, if there's a chance that I can get cancer, hopefully prevent it. That's why I started.
Right. Use it as a preventative, and I recommend that for everybody.
Right. So, I didn't take it to actually see physical benefits. I took it to hopefully, prevent stuff down the line.
Yeah.
Now, this black seed is supposed to actually, from what I've researched, it's actually supposed to help reverse even type 1 diabetes. That's why I haven't even opened the seal on this thing, because I'm here alone at night. Okay, I don't have anybody with me except my children. And if I were to take this and then have a low and not wake up, that wouldn't be good. Because if it does actually help reverse the diabetes, okay, and I don't want to take my pump off, because my pump is my lifesaver. So I could take a chance on this not working and going extremely high, or this working and then going extremely low with my pump on. So it's kind of like a catch-22. But probably it's like, it's 100% pure cold pressed black cumin seed oil.
It's
cumin.
So is it like cumin, like the spice?
Cumin, yes.
Yeah, it's cumin.
Yeah, 100% pure, contains 0.95% thymouquinone. That's THYMOQUINONE.
And for those people in the chat who don't know, those insulin pumps, those are thousands of dollars. Thousands. Okay, they are not cheap.
No, they're not.
Very, very expensive because I was with a type 1 diabetic for a few years, and I can tell you, at that time they were, $20,000.
Yeah, they've actually dropped down to around 5,000, but usually most insurances do cover. I think my very first one I had to pay quite a bit on, but then once you're like in to where you can like upgrade and trade in, and then I haven't had to pay anything for any of my upgrades. So it's that first initial one, I believe, that costs so much.
I mean, the base models are expensive enough, let alone when they want to pimp their pump,
Oh my gosh. I had one that was amazing before this one. It was actually a touch screen. And
Wow.
you could link it up and, download food apps and all kinds of stuff to it. And I loved the general idea of it. But my sugars kept going high, and I was like, I don't care how much I like this. It's not working. So I go through the whole rounds of turning it back in, even though I had 2-day classes on this thing, right? And turned it back in a week later after I'm already on my old style. I get a letter in the mail from the new pump saying, oh, we were having cartridges that are being recalled due to leakage. And I'm like, are you kidding me? So there wasn't nothing wrong with the pump at all. It was just the cartridges were leaking. And I would have been able to, I just got the memo a little too late, but still, I looked at it as a godsend too, because I know how this one works. I've been on this style for a long time, since like 2002. So, I haven't had the same pump that long, but I know how to use it. It even got to the point to where if my sugar started dropping in my sleep, I was suspending it without even knowing it. Like my hands knew what buttons to press.
Oh, so you were still doing it manually, but you just kind of it was intuitive.
Yeah, I was manually suspending this thing in my sleep.
Are you okay? Are you how do you go back and forth between like the long-term and the short-term insulin? Because
I don't have long-term and short-term. I'm just on one type.
Oh, okay.
That's what the pump does. The pump, it puts a certain minute amount every hour on the hour inside, like the long-term would. So just whenever I want to eat something, I'll test my sugar.
Yeah.
Depending on what my sugar is, and then I'm like on a carb ratio of like 1 to 15. So like say I'm eating something that's 30 carbs, I'm going to put in 2 units of insulin, and I can put it in for now to go in immediately, or I can spread it out for like 30 minutes if I'm eating a full meal. So, I mean, the pump is actually a working pancreas. It's just help it out,
Yeah, but you have to like figure out like all the carbs, calories, and
well, it doesn't take long.
Every meal. It's like you have to do all the
it doesn't.
math, right?
It doesn't take long. Trust me, because after a while, you end up. It all comes natural to you. Trust me.
Do you notice a difference with like higher quality carbs, like whole grains, or?
Let me just tell you, I'm glad you brought that up. Like, I don't eat McDonald's, not because it's not good for you, but because if I do eat it, it's like my body doesn't even think I ate. Like, okay, for example, you got this Big Mac, right? A Big Mac is 45 carbs. If I ate a Big Mac and I put in 45 carbs, like that would be 3 full units, my sugar bottoms out every time because the Big Mac does not have a full 48 grams of carbs. They might be fake carbs or something because the food's fake, but seriously, every time I eat McDonald's, my sugar bottoms out.
So either they're fudging those numbers or the density and the quality of it is not true, basically.
Something. Yeah. Now, versus like I could go to Burger King, for example. They have good quality meats, and the protein is what helps your sugar stay level as well. So I could go to Burger King and I could eat and my sugar stays level. Crazy, huh?
Well, yeah, I mean, it kind of it's related but unrelated. Like I remember years ago when I started to get a little bit more attention to stuff and like the high fructose corn syrup. I remember them saying that's why somebody can go ahead and get a 2-liter bottle of soda with that high fructose corn syrup, and there's something component or whatever you want to call it, ingredient that actually slows down your body's hormones from feeling. In other words, you can go ahead and have a whole pizza with that 2-liter bottle of soda because you never feel full, you know. So I know it's not related to blood sugar, but it's somewhat related because these ingredients in these foods.
Yeah, they want it.
You
They
know.
want the foods to break down quicker so that you're hungry again quicker, so that you go
Right.
back and eat more. Yeah,
Exactly.
exactly. And you know what's crazy is, my husband loves a McDonald's Coke, and I will agree they are really good. I'll take a sip every once in a while. But do you know what they put in their Cokes? They don't put sugar. They actually have the fountain Cokes, but they put corn syrup in the sodas themselves.
Yeah.
That's why a McDonald's Coke tastes so much better than your typical Coke, right? And then the sweet tea as well. I worked at a restaurant, and that was the sweetener of the sweet tea was corn syrup. And that's why the sweet teas at all these restaurants taste so good, because they use corn syrup.
And that's really a matter of cost plus, like you said, taste. It's just kind of killing your people want stuff sweeter and sweeter and saltier and all that, you know. So
Mm-hmm.
like I'm definitely, don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to preach anything because I from day to day I'll vary, but like when I'm eating a lot cleaner and I'm making smoothies and I'm trying to pay attention to what I'm eating and I'm or whatever, it's just like one of those things that compounds itself, and it's like you can get into such a bad cycle very easily to where I'm pretty straight shooter. I'm not embarrassed to say much, but there's been times I'm having something to drink as soon as I wake up in the morning, and then all day long I'm eating crap or I'm drinking all day long or whatever. The spectrum is the first thing I do is I'm having a smoothie, and then it's like I don't even. It's just, I guess it's like that saying that success breeds success. Well, the same thing applies to our diets and stuff. When we're eating healthier, we don't even, at least I'm speaking for myself, I don't even crave the Coke. I don't even crave the booze. I don't crave the fried stuff or the burgers or whatever. I just, because it's like, I guess I don't know whether it's a subconscious thing where that you're actually doing good by your body. So why do I want to sabotage it? Or
you're putting the right nutrients in your brain. And that causes your brain to not want to have anything extra.
Right.
When you're lacking stuff, your brain doesn't know what it wants. Your body doesn't know what it wants. Kind of like, when a woman is pregnant, how she has certain cravings, that's her body's actual way of telling her certain nutrients that she's lacking. In my opinion. I mean, that's just from what I've gathered. Now, I will tell you that with my first pregnancy with my daughter, I did not want any meat. The only meat that I would eat was hamburger, and that was all I wanted was like a Nacho Bel Grande from Taco Bell. But any other hamburger or anything I would not touch. I could not look at steak. I could not smell it. I couldn't touch it to put it in the freezer, to bag it up and stuff. Nope. Nope.
Wow.
But with my son and my daughter now, the only meat she will eat is chicken. She's the most pickiest eater in the whole wide world. I fried catfish for her one time when she was 8 or 9. And next thing I know, she's got her backpack on and she's running away from home and left a note out on her bed. Mom, you made me eat catfish. I'm running away. Bye. Oh, and I don't love you. Bye. I caught her walking out the back door. But it's and I've started this thing now. I made beans and cornbread, and I've started this thing now to where if I make something, by golly, you kids are going to eat it. I'm not being mean. I'm just you kids are going to eat what I'm making. I'm sick of making 3 and 4 different things. It ain't going to happen no more.
Well, me and Skeeter were just talking about that the other day. When we were kids, we took for granted the stuff that our mom would make for us. And it's just when you get older and you start to realize that other food that we really was craving, or the pizzas or whatever, that it's nowhere near as good for you or as good tasting when you're, as you get older, your taste kind of, I guess, matures or whatever, but.
Oh yeah, they say your taste buds change every 7 years.
Yeah, you miss mom's home cooking. I mean, I'm telling you.
Oh my gosh.
I wish I could hit the rewind button and go back and eat my mom's food that she used to make. it was really good. I loved it. But at the time I was a kid. I was a young dude. I wanted hamburgers and pizza and all that kind of stuff. But I'm mid-30s. I wish I wish I could go back and have that food. It was really good.
But what I was saying with my son when I was pregnant with him, I wasn't picky at all. I loved meat. I loved steak. And like that's one of his most favorite things to eat. So it's just crazy how when a woman is pregnant, what her body is telling her and then what the kid is like as well. So
okay, let me ask you a question.
Oh gosh.
I've heard this before. Do pregnant women like pickles?
Yeah, actually I craved pickles and pickle juice.
Yeah. I don't know.
There's something in that though. There's probably something like you said, like your body is naturally craving it. Because I mean, I know that they've said like for hangovers and stuff that pickle juice will help you. So I mean, there's got to be something that is being depleted by your system that must need to be replenished.
What was it I heard the other day? Something about pickle juice is a good cancer fighter too, I think.
Well, are pickles basically fermented, or is that not the same process? Because like kimchi is supposed to be really good and for helping you in all kinds of stuff. Anything fermented is supposed to be really good for your health and your stomach balance of your flora and fauna and all that stuff.
Now, I'm not sure as far as fermented. I know that they're canned and jarred.
Right.
I think it's, yeah.
Because I know like miso soup is fermented soybeans, and that's supposed to be really good for you as well. So anything you get your hands on that's fermented, and I'm wondering if there's maybe a stage of pickling that's kind of considered, sauerkraut. That's basically fermented. So I mean, anything like
sauerkraut. I love miso and I love pickles. So I guess I'm good.
Yeah, you can live to 120. Oh, did y'all just hear that like the oldest person alive just died at like 130 or 40 or something? Did y'all hear that?
What's that?
Yeah, like the oldest person alive on record, like they lived out in the mountains of Eastern Europe somewhere, and they just died, but they were like 130, 140, something like that.
Wow.
It's incredible.
They must have had a link to that seed vault.
That's like that old commercial I remember when I was growing up. You guys probably remember it. It was advertising yogurt, and then it was in some Russian mountain or something, and then the guy is eating it, and he says, I'm eating because my mom told me taught me how to, or whatever, and she was like 100 and he was like 85 or whatever. And those numbers don't line up, but like he was like 90 and she was 120 or whatever.
Wow. Well, guys, it's like 5 after 10. I think I'm going to shut this down. I have got to get the kids into bed, and I have got to do some nightly cleaning.
All right. Well, thanks for having us on here.
Yep. Take care of business.
Always.
Yep.
I don't know what happened to Chris.
I don't know. He said something in the chat earlier. He said, what was it? Sorry, Chris. It's not like I'm ignoring you. What did he say? He said, love to all in peace. He said, you guys have bullied me for the last time. Just kidding. I gotta go. I love you guys.
It's probably just because we're like poking fun at him,
Hope you enjoyed that coffee enema, Chris. Let me know how that went. Okay, well, I'm going to go ahead and end the stream, guys. Much love to everybody that's here. The chat will continue for approximately 1 minute, and then it usually shuts down versus the 10 minutes it used to do. So sorry about that.
Okay, I just want to close with don't come at me with an enema. Don't do that. That's a bad idea. Don't do that.
All right, so everybody go at Skeeter with an enema. That's what he's basically saying. He's using reverse psychology on us.
He really wants it. He really wants it.
No, I don't.
He's gonna have nightmares about somebody chasing him with a garden hose tonight.
Max, stay away from me. Stay away.
You're lucky. You're lucky on the opposite coast, man.
I'm gonna run, dude. I'm gonna run. Like
Yeah, you'll be running all right.
Stay away from the enemas.
Stay away. It's not good for you.
Enema of the state.
Enema of the state.
Imminent.
All right.
Enema is evident.
All right, y'all.
All right, bye.
See you. Bye.